Hey, hello out there,
Hi there.
YouTube, and
Hi
welcome
there.
to
Sticking
another
around Good Springs for a
episode of
while longer?
Fallout New Vegas. So in the last
Say no
one,
more.
just a couple days ago,
Hillcrest
I'm
talks about
falling
leaving the
behind on
saloon if
doing
we hand
these,
over
but the
Ringo,
last one,
but I know
we
he's
went and
tight.
talked to the guy in the
However,
gas
between me
station
and Ringo,
who's
we
being
aren't exactly.
pursued by a
If
gang
you could convince Trudy to
for
join
not
us,
giving them
I
money
know
for
Easy
some
Kid's got to
reason or
stop the
another.
dynamite somewhere.
Um,
And
and he
finally,
requested
there's a
help
good
getting
chance
out,
we'll all
and
end
so
up
I
with
said,
extra
sure,
holes
I'll
mates.
help you out of
So if
here. As that's just me, I'm a friend of the people of the Fallout New Vegas wasteland. So his suggestion was, rather than the two
I'll
of
be
us
waiting.
going out there and getting killed, why don't we get some people to come and help us out? So in this episode, I'll be talking to the townsfolk and seeing if we can't get them to throw in some assistance fighting this gang and get this taken care of. So I don't have some of the necessary skills to convince some of these people. That's what I'm looking at right now on the Pip-Boy here. Because this guy wants explosive skill
Howdy.
to get his help. I'm trying to borrow some
Too
dynamite
dangerous.
from him. So in this episode, there'll be
Too
skill
dangerous.
magazine
Sorry.
use, which skill magazines are very useful. But let me touch on this. There's skill magazines and then there's skill books. And the skill book is a permanent edition of typically +3, if I'm not mistaken, to
You looking to
whatever
buy some
skill the
supply?
book is associated with,
Now just hold
which
on.
is great. They're not as common as the magazine, but you will find them out there.
You made your
And the
point.
+3
I can
edition,
provide people with some
it
leather.
stays there forever. The
And,
skill
I'll be
magazine is a
guarding the store.
+10 edition for a very limited amount of time. There's a perk that you can take that will increase that amount of time by some, I think, 3 times longer. Um, but typically the magazine will give it to you without taking that perk, so you don't have to waste that perk. Wasted choosing that instead of something else that would be more useful. Because typically the magazine will give you the points long enough to get whatever you need done taken care of. If it's hacking,
Howdy.
I don't think it's I don't think the time is going when you're actually accessing the computer, so that's really not a big deal. In that mailbox, I just picked up the explosive skill magazine, so I can talk to that guy and get his dynamite. And
So
for
you
this
planning on
woman,
taking
I
on Joe
need
Cobb's gang?
the speech skill magazine, which I thought I had, but I didn't. So I got to find one of those as well. But some of the people in town, I already have the skill, or there was no skill necessary. They're willing to help out right off the bat. But look around. Typically, if you need a skill magazine to complete something, or there's something where to do, such as hack or whatever, if you look around in the general area, you will often find that they're just laying around somewhere, which is helpful because, I mean, you never know. Uh, but so far, that's been my experience. Anytime that I've needed a magazine for some certain task, it's been around. So maybe I'm just lucky, but I'm thinking that typically that's done on purpose. So while I'm wandering around trying to find this stuff and stealing people's things that I want or need, uh, if you've been playing this game, you may have noticed that it's a bit buggy here and there. I haven't really noticed a whole lot of issues, but I've heard other people say that they've had problems, and I myself actually had an issue in my other save game. So I've been playing 2 different save games. This one that I'm recording, and then another one that I'm just dicking around. Where I
Hey
was,
there.
I saved the game, and then it froze up on me. And I let it sit there for probably about 10 minutes, hoping that it would recover because I didn't want to have to turn it off and corrupt my save game. Long story short, it never recovered. I ended up having to turn it off, and it corrupted my save game, which is kind of a bummer. But I guess I'll just continue playing this one, and that'll be my main game at this point. Which I haven't really been playing much the past couple of days. With Fable 3 just came out, which is a really good game. But yeah, that's that. My advice on how to combat that issue would be to save in multiple saves files often. So if one of them gets corrupted, you can just load the other, and you're not too far behind where you were. Uh,
Howdy.
just to be on the safe side. I don't know that anyone else has had or will have this issue, but the word on the street is that there's some freezing problems here and there. And you may have noticed that there's already been one patch put out for it. I know it was supposed to correct some freezing issues, and I'm not sure what else. I don't know all the details on it, but I'm under the impression that there are future patches in the works that should be hitting the game sometime soon. So at least, you know, the developers are trying to do something about it and support the game, which is always a plus. But for the time being, you know, just watch yourself and make sure that you keep multiple saves so you don't end up being 40 hours into the game and losing everything and having to start over from scratch. Because if it was me, it would be hard to go back to playing after losing that much time. Luckily, I'd only lost about 10 or 11 hours, which is still a long time, but you know, I had already had another game in progress, so I'm not too worried about it. But that's that. So, talking to the doctor here, he's going to give me some stim packs. I've got the dynamite from Easy Pete. I talked to the store clerk, and he gave me some armor.
Seems like
Easy Pete needs explosive skill. Store clerk needs barter skill. I chose barter as one of my tagged skills because I do a lot of buying and selling, so I didn't have to worry about that. I had plenty of skill to get what I needed from him. Excuse me. So now I'm going to talk to Trudy, and she's the bartender. And Trudy needs speech skill, as I mentioned earlier, and right there I just waited, which if you press the back button you can wait as long as there's no enemies nearby for a certain amount of time. So if you need it to be daytime for any reason whatsoever, you just do that, and then it'll, you know, time will pass by automatically. So I need speech skill. Couldn't find a speech magazine, so I come in here and I know for a fact that she sells them, and I'm just gonna buy one from her and then use it, and then get her to join my cause, so to speak.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
So I'll pop the magazine right here, and then
Feeling thirsty?
choose that option since I now have a high enough speech skill. And success.
Let me have a word with a few other folks.
So that's everybody, if I'm not mistaken, joined up.
While
So
everyone
now I need to go and talk to the guy in the gas station again, and tell him, hey, let's do this, you know, bring it on. So we'll go back up there, and another note on this guy in the gas station. In my other save game, he gave me a deck of Caravan playing cards. In this one, he did not. I don't know what I did in this game save to make it so that he would not give them to me. I'm assuming that I'll be able to get them from somewhere else at some point in the game. If not, I'm really not too fucked up about it, because when I tried to play the game of Caravan, which was a confusing card game to me, I didn't really take too much time to read the instructions or listen to the instructions. But it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and I wasn't really into it anyway. But at the same time, I don't know if that's going to come into play later, if I'm going to need that for some sort of quest or whatever. But anyway, if anyone knows anything about the Caravan cards, if you don't get them from this guy, if you can get them later on, let me know in the comments, because I'm kind of curious. Once I get done recording this commentary here, I'm going to sit down and fire up the game and start playing and record some more here, since I don't have anything recorded after this. I haven't, you know, like I said, I haven't really been playing it. So I come back and take this guy's ammo that I didn't get in the last episode. I had to come back for it. You know, anytime I see ammo or a gun, stealing, not stealing, whatever, I'm always going to pick it up. You can never have too much ammunition after the apocalypse. That's great advice for video games, as well as the real world, should something of this nature ever occur. So these gang members are rolling through here, and they're trying to stir up some shit. And I just go with the 9mm pistol here. It's fairly decent for short to medium ranges. I try and pull off a few long range shots and aiming down the sights. And I gotta say, the aiming down the sights, at least with this gun, I tend to have to aim kind of low, because it's kind of hard to see where you're shooting, especially if you're aiming for the head. The gun pretty much blocks your entire view, you can't really get a good, you know, a good look down the down the barrel. So pull up VATs for a couple of them. But I really like this particular weapon. It seems to fire pretty quick. The damage is not bad on it. I haven't really screwed around with the 10mm pistol that came in the GameStop Classic Pack, whatever, or any of the ones that I've found. But the 9mm suits my purposes just fine. 357 Magnum is great as well, but the ammo is a little bit harder to find for it, which is the only problem. There's a lot of other guns that I would rather use that use the same ammunition, such as the Cowboy Repeater.
I owe you a
but
huge favor
we'll get to that once I pick one up in a later video.
Funds, but
So he comes and says, "Hey, you know,
what
thanks
I-
for saving my ass back there. Here's some money. It's from the Crimson
I'll stick
Caravan,
around for a bit
which is
longer,
apparently
but I'll be
another
gone in a few
group.
days.
And I have not come across them yet, but I know where they are. I've seen their map location on the map, just haven't been able to get there yet." So that's pretty much it for episode 6. Run around and collect the stuff that these guys have on them. Just loot their corpses for everything they've got, and keep what I want, sell what I don't. So thanks for watching.